How's it going?
Good. How are
You guys tired yet?
Yes.
Me too. We all need coffees.
Absolutely.
So, what would you like to see for Cecile and her family?
Oh gosh. I'd like to see Joe put a ring on it, just because it feels like that ought to happen. I'd really like to explore what the other side of Cecile's life is going to look like now, because she's going to have to go back to work. And being the district attorney and having a newborn, not to like get too serious about it, but women do that all the time. They have babies and then they go back to work because they do important jobs that matter, and they juggle it. And I'd like to actually experience that on the show, having Cecile and Joe both have to juggle going back to work and dealing with a newborn, and, you know, the occasional metahuman trying to destroy the world. But somebody's got to watch the baby, because that's what every family goes through. Ooh, that's a really tough call. Here's why. Harry would keep the baby entertained, but probably would never change a diaper. Cisco would teach the baby how to play a musical instrument, but also never change a diaper. Barry and Iris, they would treat the baby too well, they'd spoil it rotten, and then the baby would never behave right when mom got home. So I'm gonna go with Caitlin, because no matter what, the doctor can always fix anything that goes wrong with the baby. Always. And she's the most responsible character on the entire show. It's gotta be Caitlin. Yeah.
You've given this a lot of thought.
I have. Well, as long as she doesn't go all Killer Frost on my kid, that would be bad.
We'll pass that along to the other cast members.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I can't talk too much about it, but I will say that, you know, sometimes what we think is happening in Star Labs is not what's actually happening. So what we thought about Cecile's powers was Caitlin's best hypothesis last season. So I think this season we're going to find, because we never really figured out the why. All we did was figure, well, it's sort of like gestational diabetes. Rather unusual gestational diabetes. So I think this season we're going to find out what was really going on, and and then explore it from there.
As a character, I'd love to get your sense of where she ends up at the end of season 4, and go. What season?
5. We're starting 5.
Yeah. Wow. Whew.
I know.
And last season, we'll say it that way.
Yeah.
Where the character ended up last season and going into this new season, just her journey as a person.
Oh gosh, I think Cecile's journey as a person has been really complex and enjoyable this last season. You know, she really settled into her relationship. She's gotten pregnant. She's developed superpowers, which, you know, by anyone's measure is a weird Tuesday. And now she's had this baby. She's officially a member of Team Flash. You know, my analogy that I've given everybody on the show is like, I've been dating you all for the last couple of years, and now like we're finally married. I'm staying around full time, and I feel like it's kind of the same analogy with the team. You know, my first season on the show, season 3, it was a lot of like, wait till Cecile leaves the room to talk about what's really going on. And then season 4, I got let in on the big secret, and then somewhere in the midst of that, I became one of the secrets. So going forward in season 5, what I hope to be able to play is a continuation of the excitement and joy and just general stoke that Cecile had about waking up with superpowers and being part of the team. And most of all, I feel like when I came into the show, my obligation character-wise was to sort of bring a little bit of the audience's experiential perspective. But like, if you watch the show, yeah, some crazy stuff happens and everybody experiences sadness, but I think every kid that watches would do anything to wake up in the morning with superpowers and be in on the Team Flash secret. So I've really tried to bring that to Cecile. So I'm hoping going forward, I can sort of take that to the next step of like, Cecile actually like legit fights the bad guys. You know, she's on a team. She might have a baby on her hip, but most women have babies on their hips while they do all the hard stuff. So I hope I get to do that.
One of the highlights of the last season was seeing the relationship between Cecile and Harry.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about your perspective of that relationship and where you see it developing?
It's my favorite thing in the whole entire world. And it happened completely organically because Tom Cavanaugh is wonderful and funny and just the light of my day. And it was something that honestly was just kind of like a one-off scene. And I think what happened was we ended up having so much fun while we were shooting it. I think it translated to the producers, and one of the producers texted me and said, like, we're all sitting around watching the dailies because you guys are so ridiculous together. And it sort of grew from there, and it really is something that Tom and I are both hoping gets to continue into this next season, even though, as per usual, he will be a new version of Harry. Hopefully this new version of Harry and District Attorney Cecile Horton will get on as well as they did, because it's super, super fun for us.
Terrific. Thank you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Family's always been a big part of the launch, so how do you feel like Cecile is like?
Well, I mean, she certainly has brought a baby into the game, so she went to the deep end of the pool on that one. But I feel like Cecile has really come in and given Joe a little nudge that what matters is love, and what matters is seeking happiness, and that he's got a whole life ahead of him. That he's not just a cop, and he doesn't have to just worry about Barry and Iris. That, you know, Joe can live too. And I think Joe living has made all of the rest of the team, it's sort of spread energetically throughout the show and throughout the rest of the team that, like, it's okay to be happy. You can be happy and save the world.
Terrific. Thank you guys.
Thank
so
you.
much.